Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Monday. Today I got Gunther here. I'm going to be going over a little bit of a midway through progress report, get you guys up to date about where he's at in his training, as well as going over the e-collar a little bit. I know you guys are a little familiar with it already, and I have this little speaker box here to kind of help me communicate with you guys when I'm using it, how I'm using it, and also how I set it up as well. Okay, so we'll start with the good news first. Halfway through yesterday, you can see he was off leash at the park, working on his recall, placing on the bench, doing a really good job with that. This last week, we've taught him all of his basic commands: Gunther come, Gunther sit, Gunther down, Gunther heel, Gunther place, Gunther break. Break is the most important one in my opinion. That means he can do whatever he wants. He's doing a really good job right now with no e-collar on, and he's just sitting here and being obedient all on his own. So I'm very happy with his progress. I think within the next couple of days we'll start shooting his final video, keeping him tuned up, ready to go with the training. So with the e-collar, I know you guys probably already know how to turn it on. This manual has everything with the modes, and the warranty is in here. It's very important that you keep the warranty. They're very good about replacing it. Red dot to turn it on. We'll see a blinking light, which is our power indicator. Green, orange, and red. Green is good, orange is charge me, and red is dead. When we turn on the e-collar or the remote, you will see a different settings on here. It will say M, 0, and C. M real quick stands for momentary. So if I push this button and hold it, it'll only go for 1 split second. C stands for continuous. And we want to switch the collar so it says C and C only. There is a little black button on the back that says M/C. One of the most common complaints with the e-collar is that the dog doesn't react to the e-collar, that you have to go to a very, very high number before the dog feels it, and then the dog is yelping or scratching or shaking. A lot of times this is because it gets stuck on M and not C, and as you can hear, it only goes for 1 split second. It doesn't allow the dog to really sit. Boom, we turn the collar off. Now, he does not have a collar on. This is just me communicating to him and him being obedient once again, okay? So once you have it set on C and C only, this black button is gonna be the button that we wanna really use on top. This red button is a little bit of an emergency, so it'll go from, if it's on a 5, it'll go from a 5 to a 10, 10 to a 15, and so on and so forth. The on and off button is also a light button. So sometimes you will just tap the on and off button on the back and you will see a light turn on and you will say, oh no, what's going on? The solid light, there's 2 different settings, strobe and solid. And then if you click it a 3rd time, it'll turn off, okay? Very important, push and hold to turn the remote off. Both of these devices are waterproof as long as the charging ports are closed and remain closed. This should float in the water. I've seen it happen before. And this in the water will not magnify or electrocute anything around the dog. It won't magnify the stimulation. It still will only act wherever it's connected. It's not going to make the dog's tail or legs seize up because you use this in the water. So it's a very good tool to have if you ever go to the beach, camping, to the river, to the lake, anything like that. Now, this is the stock setup. This is what you guys are at home with right now. I want to talk real quick about this e-collar bungee and these different prongs. Okay, these are metal prongs, metal tip prongs. These help cut through Gunther's hair a little bit easier and get to the skin a little bit easier. And this e-collar bungee prevents you from having to use this belt style collar which may be hard to adjust sometimes because you have to get it 2 fingers snug on the dog, and you don't really want the e-collar moving around back and forth. So the e-collar bungee does a really good job at keeping it snug on the dog's head, on the dog's neck, and doesn't really allow it to move up and down. If you can get good connection with the e-collar and the prongs, then you will see your numbers on the dog a lot lower rather than having to spike them up. And then when the dog feels it, it is a very displeasurable feeling, negative, and it makes you maybe frustrated or scared of pushing the button, and that's going to prevent you from wanting to continue the training. So if you continue to keep consistent connection with the collar, as well as consistent communication with the remote, you will see that the dog is a lot more obedient. But if you end up spiking and going and letting go and spiking and getting super high, then it's going to deter you from wanting to keep on training. So right now, Gunther's doing a very good job. My wife is absolutely in love with him, and she doesn't want me to give him back. So yeah, that's going to be a fun week this next week coming up. We got a couple more field trips to do, and yeah, so we'll be back at it soon. And thank you guys for staying tuned, and we'll talk soon, all right? Come on, Bubba's, come here.